Obligation and necessity. Affirmative, negative, interrogative. Present have to, don't have to, do and subject. Plus have to. Has to, doesn't have to, does and subject. Plus have to. Past had to, didn't have to, did and subject. Plus have to. Future will have to, won't have to, will and subject and have to. At present we use have to or has to and infinitive to express obligation and necessity. I have to study hard. I don't have to study hard. Do you have to study hard? He has to get up at 7 every day. He doesn't have to get up at 7 every day. He has to get up at 7 every day. The past we use had to and infinitive to express obligation and necessity. We had to walk to school yesterday. We didn't have to walk to school yesterday. Did you have to walk to school yesterday? When did you have to walk to school? In the future we use will have to and infinitive to express obligation and necessity. They will have to buy a new television next week. They won't have to buy a new television next week. Will they have to buy a new television next week? What will they have to buy next week? Extra examples. You have to wash your hands before you eat. She has to take the medicine to be okay. They don't have to park here. Ali doesn't have to smoke. Do you have to wash your hands before you eat? Does she have to take the medicine to be okay? We had to take a taxi as it was raining heavily. We didn't have to take a taxi as it was raining heavily. Did you have to take a taxi as it was raining heavily? Why did you have to take a taxi? I'll have to send the fax tomorrow. I won't have to send the fax tomorrow. Will you have to send the fax tomorrow? Pay attention. It's necessary to equals have to, has to. It's not necessary to equals don't, doesn't have to. Is it necessary to equals do, does plus subj. Plus have to. It was necessary to equals had to. It wasn't necessary to equals didn't have to. Was it necessary to equals did plus subj. Plus have to. It will be necessary to equals will have to. It won't necessary to equals won't have to. Will it be necessary to equals will plus subj. Plus have to. It's necessary for her to sleep early. Equals she has to sleep early. It's necessary for us to take a taxi. Equals we have to take a taxi. It was necessary to pay the bell. Equals you had to pay the bill. It will be necessary for them to play well. Equals they will have to play well. Infinitive of purpose. We use to or so as to or in order to and infinitive to answer the questions that begin with why to give a reason. Why do you do sports? To, in order to, so as to keep fit and healthy. Why did they walk slowly? To, in order to, so as to keep steady. Why do you go to the theater? To, in order to, so as to watch plays. A reason sentence and so as to, in order to, to and infinitive. He went to the island so as to help the people. My son wants to join the faculty of medicine to become a doctor. The family went to Paris in order to see the Eiffel Tower.